Today's Captain's Blog is made possible by a grant from Robert Bethke. Thank you, sir.
Anybody who wants to can wander in our door every Saturday. And at the end of every big Saturday public meeting for years, and a lot of people know I do this, you guys get to ask me absolutely anything you want. Which would be kind of terrifying if I was just a high voltage guy here, but I'm actually the president and founder of the entire company. We do this because it's a lesson in transparency and accountability. Because if I can get him to realize that he can ask questions and demand evidence of people in positions of power and authority, he might someday start doing that, and someday he's going to vote, and about that I care a very great deal. There are no rules to this at all. You get 10 minutes. You can ask me about membership stuff. You can ask the terrifying questions like, where does the money go? You know, anything you want. I'm actually the president of the company. So, here we go. Hit me. What do you want to know? Hands. What do you want to know? Go.
Which one is school?
Coopersville or Sheldon Heights?
Oh.
I'm a farm kid from Coopersville. I went to Coopersville for grade school and junior high. I went to Sheldon Heights out in West Hollywood for high school. I went to Tech Center for a couple of years.
Oh.
Because that's useful. Go.
So, one, what's your hours? And two, how do the labs or the different shops work? Are people just in there at any point and you just waltz in and use it, or you waltz in and ask questions?
Service hours, like when you can get a person to help you do anything in any lab, are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's service hours. Like if you want to learn how to use a new tool or stuff like that, service hours. That's when we have heavy staffing. After 6, we're still open till 9 for just regular members. Like if you signed up today, you can hang out till 9 o'clock tonight, no problem. But that's much more unsupervised. This is not a push environment, which is weird for most people because everybody's used to a push environment. You're used to school right now, where you sit down, shut up, we're going to push things into your brain, right? Which is great, but that's not actually how people learn. And you all know this because most of you have smartphones. When you got a smartphone, it came in a little box with a charger and a cable and a manual, unless it's a brand new phone, because new phones don't come with manuals anymore. And the reason is really simple. Nobody reads the damn manual. Because you have a shiny new toy, and you're not stupid, you will figure it out. And you just play with it and figure it out. And that's how we do stuff here. If you want to come and learn how to use a sewing machine, you can. We'll teach you the things you need to know. And then just leave it all alone because you're smart and you'll figure it out. And when you get stuck, then you ask somebody a question. You're like, well, okay, we'll do this. But for most of it, we just let you find your groove and learn what you want to learn at your pace in your area. For training in that, because there's some stuff where you need help, we're here for that. And those hours go pretty much till 6 because after that, with a volunteer staff, it's really hard to get people to stick around till midnight. It happens. It's not at all uncommon to be here like 11 o'clock tonight and somebody got a question and there's somebody here that'll answer it. Beyond that, we have vetted member hours. There's 220 cameras around here and the world is watching. And once you hang out enough that like everybody knows your name and we know you're not a Muppet and we know you're not going to like set the building on fire, we'll give you a key. At which point, 24/7. And if you come here tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning, there will be people here tonight working on stuff. He may be one of them. How many late nights you spent here?
Oh, it's been weeks.
Yeah. So it's pretty much, we're open 24/7, but you have to prove yourself. Next. Go.
For school-age children field trips, what age, how young would you recommend?
I don't know that we have a minimum age for field trips. Like, we've done kindergartens. It's fun. There's goop and bugs and snot, and it's a good time. It's usually $10 a kid. We book it individually, school groups, and you can do it on our website. It's easy to find on our website. And if you have specific questions on that, ask Moose. She's the blonde in the back over there. She handles booking.
Okay, and how long would a field trip be?
It's usually about an hour and a half. It depends on what they're doing. If it's like 3D printing and stuff, it might be a little longer, but usually hour and a half, especially if they're little. Though I'd rather have kindergartners than 8th graders.
Yeah.
Kindergartners, you just blow stuff up and there's fire and explosions and they're happy and 3D printing. 8th graders are dicks. And they're just, I don't know what happens like in a human being's head between like 5th to 7th grade, but they just get a demon or something and they're evil for like 3 years. And yeah. See, we've been there. Yeah. I was that kid. Next question. You don't have to be afraid. It's okay. I'm the one on camera. You're fine. Go.
So we can bring in, like, I do woodworking at home, so if you had a tool here that I didn't have at home, I could bring in my project and work on it here.
It is a totally normal thing to see people walk through those doors carrying a table. You know, it happens like, that's why I picked a table, because it happened yesterday. But yeah, that's the idea, is that because we have tools here that you don't have at home. That's why people come here. And you can bring your project. Sometimes they have to leave it here for a day or two. That happens. We'll work it out. We'll make it safe. We'll make it work. It gets tricky with vehicles. Like if you need to bring a car here, like if you guys want to get together and swap an engine, you're not going to do that in a day. So if they get together, we're like, okay, we're going to book the hoist for 2-3 days, and they're going to rock it out. But we do it in a way that's fair to everybody. Like membership here is a little $20 a month. We do things on the cheap because I want there to be no excuses. I want you to be able to practically live here and make it affordable. So that's why we do things the way we do. Next. You got 4 minutes. Give me a hard one. Go.
Excuse me. Do you have like machines like similar to CNC machines, or I mean, I noticed you got.
I have a lot of machines similar to a CNC machine, but I also have a lot of CNC machines.
Oh, that's
3D printer, and the weird thing is, if you learn how to do 3D printing, or you learn how to do the embroidery, because we have a computer-controlled embroidery machine, it's really cool.
Okay.
The fundamental skills that you need to do that, and this is really cool because people get very sexist with this stuff. It's dumb as hell. But people get really, they think only the girls can do embroidery and only the guys can do the big metalworking. Complete crap.
Right.
You give me a 14-year-old girl who wants to come in here and learn how to do the embroidery, the same exact stuff she has to know to do that translates right over to cutting steel on a big sheet router. And like he's a woodworker. The minute he figures out just what he can do with a CNC sheet router, every door in his house a month later is all this beautiful, engraved, ornate, and his wife is like, I don't know how he does it, but it's really cool. And yeah. People tend to be limited in their own head more than they are by what they're capable of. And once you realize that you don't have to be a god to do this stuff, and that a lot of it is understanding what you can do with these tools, it gets nuts. It gets absolutely nuts. Like, a good example. You all saw the ridiculous car in the main room, the black and yellow striped car. You saw it on tour? Okay. People see that and like, that's my daily driver. That's actually my car. People see that and they're like, oh, it's a wrap and it took like, you know, huge amounts of effort and a giant printer and cost thousands. No. That's spray paint and tape. And that's it. And it's not special spray, it's not like a gun or anything. No, I went to Home Depot and I bought Rust-Oleum cans at $4 a piece. I bought 60 of them, but I bought Rust-Oleum cans, the classic white with the tartan band, the old school 60s Rust-Oleum, not the special weird stuff. I bought a whole lot of black and a whole lot of yellow. 60 cans of paint in 3 weeks of my time. And I have a car that, I have a generic 10-year-old Mitsubishi Eclipse. There's nothing special about that car. But if I take that car to the car show, and I park it next to all the cool dudes with like $50,000 under the hood of their Corvette and all that, yeah, everybody comes and looks at my car. Because the Corvettes all look alike. And you can do this. It's just time. It's just, I want to do the ridiculous. I want to build this thing. If you want to come here and program giant robots, you can do that. Next. We got 1.5 minutes left. You get to terrify me. What do you got?
So your corporate sponsors,
Those people.
Is that where a lot of this comes from, or is this personal investment? Or?
It's a little bit of both. this building is donated by somebody. A lot of it was donated by me. When you go down into the aeronautics lab, all those airplanes on the wall, about 95% of them I donated. Because I like flying model airplanes. I'm really good at crashing. But a lot of stuff here comes from guys like you. You have woodworking tools. You have tools. How many guys in this room have toolbox? Okay, raise your hand if you got toolbox. Now, I don't know any of you guys, but this is what I know. At some point in your life, you got a socket set. The first thing you did was you lost the 7/16 and the ½ inch, because that's always the first one to go. And after 10 years, you have half a socket set. But you're not going to throw that away. You go and buy a new socket set. And when you bought the brand new shiny socket set, you didn't clean out your toolbox and get rid of that old, you know, all those ones rattling around in the bottom drawer. No, they're still in there because you can't throw them. You might need them. This is what I want you to do. And tell your friends. That half dozen old sockets, half of them are chipped or cracked or screwed up. 3 different brands, half of it's Chinese, you know, there's that odd snap-on or Craftsman rattling around in the bottom of your toolbox. Put them in a bag, or a bucket, or fill the back of your truck, but we want your junk. Where you work, that back room at the shop you work at, that has that piece of equipment that hasn't been touched in 15 years, I want it. Talk to your boss, because instead of him getting 10 bucks for scrap metal, he could get 500 bucks for donating it here. And I take your half dozen sockets and your half dozen sockets, and he's got an angle grinder, and we put all this together, and that's how we built a tool room. We're really good at fixing old tools. We have every possible brand you can imagine of socket, and we still don't have 7/16. But we've got a million of the oddball sizes that nobody uses. And it just adds. We take a file cabinet. We have a file cabinet, an old school steel file cabinet with the short drawers, filled with sockets and wrenches and all that jazz. And it adds up. Because now, if you happen to be working on something, and you just need a 3/4 inch drive, 4-foot long breaker bar, you can go and spend 200 bucks and buy one, or you can bring your thing over here and we've got one. And I got the 4-foot long torque wrench to match it. And it's really cool to get to use a 4-foot long torque wrench. It's not every day you pick up a wrench with 2 hands. Any other questions? Last one. Cool. See, I answered all your questions. This is what you need to know. Membership here is horrifically expensive. It used to be 40 bucks a month until a couple of years ago, and we cut it in half. Now it's 20 bucks a month. That's 5 bucks a week, which for most of you is less than you spent on fast food this week. Okay, I'm talking about Taco Bell levels of funding. This is not a major life investment. In this building, you can design, build, create, and explore anything you can imagine. You can come here. You can come here and build your own multi-million-dollar company. And it's happened. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what letters you have after your name or how rich your dad is. We don't care. It's 5 bucks a week for you to be able to have all the tools you ever dreamed and the environment to create anything you can imagine. Get up, get your butt over there, and sign up. Family membership, everybody in your house, it's 30 bucks a month. That's it. It's that cheap. And I want all of you to design and build cool new stuff, or at least come play with giant robots and pig wrenches and break things. So up, go over there, bug them. We want you. Thank you. Huh? That's it. My like motto is what I want to see something. There's something in the pillowcase? Something in the pillowcase. Yeah, like I have this like make real quick that I actually but this is
Oh yeah, that rig's actually pretty cool. It's the suspension blade, the big bit. So like they're not touching each other. They're just
this current marking period will last after short card. Yeah, like there's so many people, not like a lot, not like a huge bunch, but there are a lot of people who have these and like got like they use them as house. Yeah, so like what these guys, why they don't have this, why they're in the business is because they were on the forefront of like
So much tension, I don't understand.
and they made this not popular and less of mine.
I think this thing has a
Really
dangerous
simple
amount
to
of
touch
tension
one
right
button.
now.
And so it's like, it's kind of like different. You draw air through these holes. So you
There's so much tension, I'm bending
kind of
up
think
the
it's
piece
sitting
of
on
card.
like the amount of time you put that down and trying to airflow. They're kind of like finicky, so they're not for everyone. Well, they try to market you are next to
Well, this is really, but not put your hand in it.
instead of market and went out of business. It's like, I can market.
Hand card. Yeah.
Years all day for years and years and years, like literally with the network. But like now that no one services them, or like, this seems to be a frequent problem. All this that I got is like the top layer is made of silicone. That breaks. So like I want to know how to make them and make them for other people possibly, because there are people out there.
Honestly,
That seems like
because if you want to do a 3D wood board,
you know.
it might be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, like that's what I was sitting there talking about. When we make a 3D wood board, there's no reason not to do it here.
Yeah.
And tell your friends to make it.
Yeah, for
Look
sure.
at that, the lines
That's
are made
the
effective.
thing
That's what
I'm
it uses.
thinking if I can just
Take,
get that
literally
done
just
for
bring it
Friday,
and
that's
take.
like the one project.
Yes.
I
I put in the line I have on the illustrator file.
Figure out what you need to do.
Yeah, in the spring,
Come back.
I'll be back with that.
That's a lot easier.
Projects.
You
I wouldn't abandon it.
I don't want to do.
We want them all there.
Yeah.
Well, I figured, like, you know, just actually use maybe 3D mountains,
Yeah.
but
I'm so glad you worked.
Yeah, I've been like hard
that
I found a lot of like because actually make the actually really good at
everything else is all.
different from the just regular like standard.
And then like we fill it with some kind of
My friend's
resin or something to make it sound like you're playing on the board.
told me about it.
I will take you and show you the coolness. Did you know we just finished your membership today? There's some questions I can answer.
By having time.
Well, what time do you get done? Really, what time do you get done?
No.
What time do you usually get done being at your wife? Exactly.
No, but she dictates some of the terms. They're playing the wedding. That's big. But wedding planning is very
Yeah.
November to January for 2 weeks.
It's about 3 months.
It's the woman planning things and the man practicing.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you guys don't have to wear ties. You're welcome.
Oh, you have to.
We're down.
Good man, good man. Okay, let me get you the paperwork. I'll be right back.
I can come out read that. I told you guys.
Y'all ever just miss that taste of home? You gotta try Jenkins brand liver mush. What the fuck is this?
It's pork liver, pork broth, pork shells, pork fat, pork rind, cornmeal, rice flour, salt, spices, and caramel color.
So I have a note that you have to read. Come with
What? You know, if you want pork mush with liver and do it right, it's called Braunschweiger. Und das ist wunderbar.
This is actually comes from.
That is some nasty freak show shit.
So Jerry, can you turn the music
Yeah,
on?
yeah, kill the music. Can I read
So
it?
Jerry told me, Jerry told me he was feeling really homesick recently.
Okay.
And nobody within a day's drive of us sells liver mush. So I
There's a
asked,
reason for that.
asked a couple of friends of mine, and a friend of mine who lives in Raleigh volunteered to do it. But they don't actually sell it in Raleigh. But
Okay.
he's going on a business trip in the sticks.
Okay.
So he sent his opinion.
Liz, instead of choosing to consume this, I hope your friend decides to use it in a different fashion. May I suggest, perhaps, as some sort of grout or mortar? You need to try Braunschweig, which you can get in civilized locations. In fact, they sell it at Family Fair and Meijer.
It's a completely different texture and
Yeah.
flavor profile than the traditional. It's got a lot more spice to it.
So we had a first delivery overnight, delivered by 10 a.m. from UPS with 2 pounds of liver mush.
Who sent this?
Sterling Stevens.
Thank you, Sterling. I think.
Thank you.
Oh. So you made things.
I made
You
things.
made things. Let's check and see how it fits.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right.
Because now I can do the long process of drilling and tapping and fun. And Monday I'm going to start assembly. I do it today, but I don't have any support staff here today. So it's going to be Monday. And so over the course of next week, I will be winding this primary and that primary. These will both be 5/8. Here is, we got the copper. It arrived. So we've got that. And we'll be winding this primary for the 8-inch coil, which is going to be done out of the leftover 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to grab a representative sample. I'm going to hand this to you. Let's check it. You ready? Ooh, it's tight. It's tight. It's very tight. Oh, it's good. It's lovely. Yep. It's just the right level of tight. It's everywhere we want it to be. So I'll have to drill and tap these. That's going to be a thing. And yes, there's one hole. That was a mistake in the original drawing that made it all the way through into production, but I don't care. We'll just skip the hole. But cool, thank you, sir.
All right.
You made all the pieces, now I gotta make them into things. So, yeah. What do you want to do next?
I don't know. I probably, if you don't mind, I probably get going today.
I'm okay with that. Today's kind of a weird day.
It's a beautiful day out there, and I kind of like to take advantage of it.
You should go outside and play.
Perfect temperature. You know?
Yes, it's like 74.
Yeah.
You should totally fuck off and go play.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like
Absolutely.
to go.
No, you accomplished a huge thing, and I deeply appreciate it.
Okay.
And that is awesome. And I've got like, it's gonna take me 3 days of drilling and tapping just to get all that back together. So yeah,
Okay.
you go play, have fun.
Yeah, and I'll be back next Saturday.
All right.
Kind of.
Next Saturday things will be much more normal.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what you're thinking about for me to do.
I will have something for you by next Saturday. Needle gun. Needle gun. I gotta turn your tunes off. Wow, it's... Ah, there we go, okay. So I hear the big air compressor running. Is it working?
Still running. Yeah, still running.
Okay.
It's shut out.
Okay, well, so how's this going?
Good.
You having fun?
Yep, we're having a ball.
Cool.
I'll take a wire wheel to it. Some of these.
There's a hell of a lot less paint on there than there was this morning.
Yes. But see, that was my biggest concern. There's some brass bushings.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what this was made of.
Now we know.
It's steel, but it's thicker than thought it would be.
Cool.
Correct.
That's excellent.
And I didn't hammer out the gauge either.
Huh?
The zeroing gauge.
Oh.
See, delicate bits.
Well, you do all the prep on that because you know the delicate bits and all that. Final step needs to be a full acetone wipe down, including in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint every surface of this that isn't covered in tape.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Because I can paint this,
Yeah.
no problem.
You should maybe even lacquer some of the, because I want to look at some of the gauges on the wheels, the fine
Okay.
numbers, and see if we can't highlight them. Put some
I support
light
this.
in there.
No, what you do is you spray paint it, you primer it, you strip it all down, you primer it, paint the whole thing black, and then sand it, and everything that's recessed down in here will stay.
Will stay.
And yeah, there you go.
That's what I mean.
We'll be back.
We need naval. There's a key in there. Is steel, but the rest is taken off with the brush. I guess this is always painting. I wanted to shine it up. It'll be easier to break it back here than it will be in the cabinet.
So what's up, gentlemen?
Well, we're going through. The robot, for some reason, will run with the permissive outputs in either state,
Okay.
which is not
Kind of weird.
Yeah. So now we're going to start breaking the other shunts. We're going to start with the external auto stops and see if it likes that, and we'll reset gracefully. If not, we'll move to the general stops and hope for those.
You'd think somebody had written about all this in a manual somewhere.
Yeah, we don't have it.
And GM changed some things, so
Okay. Okay.
it's the capabilities there. We just have to pick the lock.
Yay!
Then you know.
Time is 23:31. Ed's got the con. We're terrified. Kick it, Ed.
There.
That smooth linear motion. And then a circular motion.
Well, if you do, it'll be on black.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Oh, you fucked it!
2 for 2. There's the screech.
That's the bad
I
sound.
never heard the screech before when it did it for me. It's,
Oh, no, that's the screech.
ugh.
That's the bad sound.
Oh, and you're forgetting to show them.
Ha!
Thanks a lot. I'm trying to get us to go home.
It works now, and we got a reset button. That's a temporary reset button.
Yeah.
Very
You
temporary.
should take it home, Ed.
Current reset button is going to be mounted up there and one outside.
Yeah, we're thinking of changing the light to a light lit button,
Okay.
just for cool factor.
With the arm clear.
Alright, let's get it back home and see if we can unpiss off the robot.
How is that what, 75%?
75% speed, 50% velocity.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take that particular move down slow.
It's just driving the motors too fast.
Oh.
You asshole! God.
It's gonna take us all weeks to get used to that.
What we gotta have is like a little siren or buzzer. So when somebody goes through it, it blasts in their ear from each side.
Yeah, that'll be great for the person programming it. They'll love that. They'll appreciate that.
Okay. Reduce to 25% velocity, running program at 75% speed. Program resets. All established. Something's pissed off. What's pissed
Change your window.
You gotta acknowledge.
Change your window and then acknowledge all. Change your window back.
off? Never had to change the window before. That.
Technically, you don't have to change the window back in order to start the program.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can be a navigator. Go ahead and switch windows.
I switched back on the
No,
bar.
go up back here. Click navigator.
God, he's
God
gonna
damn you!
fucking gut you.
I reset it as I walked through it.
Okay, so acknowledge. Go back to this window. Navigator. Now go ahead and press run forward.
Established. How do I go back? Program?
Yep.
That was happy at full speed. All right.
You ready for it?
This
You
is
ready for it?
25% velocity. Here's the flip.
Jesus, that's fast.
That is right on the edge. You gotta slow that down even.
And you're still not linear getting there.
It should be linear.
It's linear at the point at the end of the axis. So you have a plate. It's moving this little point on the plate in a linear fashion. The plate won't be moving kind of in a linear
I don't
plane.
lock it. I don't want to come like this. I want to bring it up and then linear back and linear forward.
Oh, well, I just gotta set it.
Yeah, you need a point. You need a point at home. You need to go from where you are to home and then back and forward. It's gonna be like this till dawn. We want to thank Matt for coming out and working more magic with the robot, and you're going to see a video series coming out on the main channel at some point of Matt teaching you how to robot. It's gonna be a thing. So, thank you, Matt. You guys have fun. That's today's Captain's Vlog, because the only thing that's gonna happen here is a lot of swearing, and that wouldn't be fucking appropriate for the children's. Good night, kids. Today's Captain's Vlog is made possible by a grant from Robert Bethke. Thank you, sir.